Hi, my name is Jackie Duvall, and I'm the Children's Ministries Director for Sunnyside Church in Portland, Oregon. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to recruit children's ministries volunteers and to keep them coming back. Number 1, know ahead of time what you need from each volunteer. Be precise as possible. Date, time, how long, expectations. People generally don't like surprises. For example, if you ask someone to take tickets at the door, don't change their assignment unless you talk to them first. If they are going to be dressed up to greet the public, they probably don't want to be surprised by a change, and now they are moving heavy boxes. The more information you have, the more your potential volunteer will feel at ease. Number 2, the number 1 way to forever lose a potential volunteer is to go up to them and say, "I'm desperate. I just need bodies. Help." For me, they do not value me, so I'm usually not interested. Instead, get to know them. What are their hobbies or interests? What do they not like to do? And you might just find that golden fit that will keep them coming back and make them a long-time volunteer. I learned this the hard way. I took on the role to coordinate storytellers for the children's story during church. And I thought this would be a piece of cake, but I was wrong. I found myself saying, "I'll take anybody. I'll take you. Are you interested? Please just help me this one time." Well, I wasn't valuing their abilities. I was asking everybody. So I stopped, took a step back, because one Sabbath I noticed that as I approached some people, they turned and went the other way. So I started listening to people in the hallways that they were telling stories or telling a story about their grandchild or something that happened on vacation, and the people they were talking to were engaged. That was the type of person I was looking for. So those are the people that I approached, the ones that could engage while telling a story. Some said yes, some said no, but I have more success today than I did when I started. Number 3, if your potential volunteer says, "I don't have the time," ask them if they can give you just 3 hours a month. Yes, you heard me right, 3 hours a month. Make sure to track their time, honor their time, 3 hours. Now imagine getting 10 people to commit to 3 hours a month. That is 30 hours of volunteer time. Imagine all the tasks that can be completed in 30 hours. And once folks realize that the 3 hours aren't too much, they will begin to ask what else they can do. So be prepared. Have a running list of tasks that need to be completed and put an approximate time to complete each one of those tasks. This helps the volunteer take on a little more at a time. And if you start small with your volunteer asks, you will get your volunteers to feel more comfortable in their surroundings and build a rapport with each one of them. Then when a big event or project comes up, your volunteers are comfortable with you and other volunteers as well. But don't forget, show them around the building first. Show them where supplies are kept, where keys are kept. Show them how to use the copy machine, how to put paper in the copy machine, where the kitchen is, where they can get a glass of water or make a cup of tea, or where they can just go and sit down for 5 minutes and just catch their breath. If you get them comfortable in their surroundings, you will get them to keep coming back. Number 4, always ask for feedback. Your volunteers just might have a better way of getting things done. And they might even know that the task is really not fit for a volunteer unless that volunteer has specific knowledge in that area, or it might need a professional. So remember to ask after, not during. Let them complete the entire job and then check in with them. Write down what they say, take notes, listen, then repeat what they said. This way, the volunteer knows that they were heard and that they realize they're valued. They will want to keep coming back if they feel valued and heard. Number 5, last but not least, but most certainly the 2 most important words you can ever say to a volunteer. Thank you. Never forget to say thank you. So, a verbal thank you. Get a thank you card and sign it. Ask your pastors to sign it. Let them know what your children's ministries volunteers are doing for your ministry. Let your pastors say thank you. And if you can, add a little gift, a little thank you, a little box of chocolate, a candy bar. It just goes to show the volunteer that, 1, you took the time to shop and to prepare a nice card and to deliver it, and you've said thank you. Another way to show your church members, your church board, your budget and finance committee, and even your pastors how valuable volunteers are to the church, to the community. Keep track of your hours. Once a month, 3 times a year, or once a year, add those hours up. Multiply it by the minimum wage in your area, and you will find that those volunteer hours represent thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for your children's ministries program, for your church community. That will go a long way when it comes to showing your pastors that volunteers are priceless. So to recap, number 1, know ahead of time what you need from your volunteers. Be precise with what you ask and don't make changes unless you speak to them in advance if you can. Number 2, get to know them, value them, know what they like and they don't like, so that you know where they are going to be a good fit, where they're comfortable, where they're going to want to keep coming back. And if your volunteer says, I don't have time, remember that 3-hour a month commitment. Get them to commit to 3 hours a month. Once you get 10 people, that's 30 hours. 20 people is 60 hours. Imagine what could be done in your program for 30 or 60 hours a month. Number 4, always ask for feedback. Always. Good, bad, it doesn't matter. But listen. Listen to them. Repeat what you heard so that they know that their feedback is valued. And again, lastly, number 5, but not least, don't forget to say thank you. I hope these 5 things help you to retain and get volunteers and to keep them coming back. Volunteers are priceless, and we can't do our work in children's ministries or any ministry without volunteers.